there's Tito's. Okay, I'm almost as eloquent as Tim, but I have to read this because I couldn't memorize all this stuff. And Jaclyn said keep it short, but that ain't gonna happen. So can I have my glasses? They're inside of my. Thank you. Thank you. Jaclyn, I'll try not to embarrass you too much while I do this. I thought I saved the real embarrassment for the dance floor. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mitch Kleiman. I am 1/4 of the reason you're all here tonight. I'd like to acknowledge the other 3/4 of the reason, George, Tina, and Tatiana, Jaclyn's mother. Let's have a round of applause for them. Come on, let's hear it for them. On behalf of all the Kleinmans and McFarlands, I want to thank all of you for being here today, especially those of you that knew I'd give a speech. It's very touching that you all still decided to come. Unfortunately, it's not possible for everyone loved to be with us here today. We know they're with us in spirit, our thoughts, and in our hearts. So with them in mind, join me in a little toast to our absent friends and families that couldn't make us here today. It's not easy giving your daughter away. I would also like to take this moment to welcome those that traveled to be here tonight from Kentucky, and we even have a contingent here from as far away as Honduras. Muchas gracias por viajar desde Honduras para estar aquí en el día de la boda de Jaclyn. Copias de este discurso completo estarán disponibles en español y en otros idiomas por una pequeña tarifa. Salud. For those of you that don't know, this speech is available in other languages if you needed it for a small fee. I know Jaclyn was hoping I could keep this short and sweet. Sweet's not a problem. Come on, it's me. But I'm a proud dad and I make my living in sales, so short is asking a lot. By the way, if anyone wants a great deal on a soft serve machine, see me in the lobby after the speech. If you ask, I'll throw in some free cups and magic color changing spoons. I'm like the Godfather. I cannot refuse requests on the day of my daughter's wedding. ABC. Coffee's for closers. Who wants coffee? I heard there's a bet among a few of you about how long it'll take me to cry during my speech. Well, you've lost already. It was this morning in the shower, and a little in the elevator, and a few minutes ago at the reception, but that's because the waiter ran out of those little tuna things before he got to me. On December 29th, 1994, Jaclyn Monique Kleiman was born, and the course of my life and many of yours changed forever. In what seemed like a blink of an eye, 23 years flew by, which is 43 in Timothy years. And here we are at her wedding. I told you I'd make it classy. Oh, wow. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm incredibly grateful to those of you who helped make her the woman she is today. Her mom, of course, aunts and uncles, turn page. Thank you. I'm here till Tuesday. And friends. Also, here's Jaclyn's grandparents. As the first grandchild in my family, Jaclyn had the distinct honor of naming her grandparents. It worked out okay for my mom, who's known as Ima. Not so much for my dad, who became Poopa. He loved every minute of it. The story goes, my parents wanted to be called Oma and Opa, which is Dutch for grandmother and grandfather. However, Jaclyn put her own unique stamp on it by blurting out Ima and Poopa, which has stuck ever since. We've shortened it a bit, and now we call them Poops. It's Poops over there. Like most guys, I was terrified when I became a father. There was so much I didn't know, and even more that I didn't know that I didn't know. I didn't learn it all, but I learned a lot. More importantly, I learned to listen. One, because it's important for children to feel to be heard, and two, because Jack was a smart kid with some really good ideas that I could take credit for. Speak up, buddy. Danny's taking notes. Anyone who knows Jaclyn knows how considerate, loyal, and thoughtful she is. She's gorgeous inside and out, loyal, fiercely protective, and super motivated. God help anyone who gets in her way when she sets a goal for herself, or anyone else for that matter. Among her many talents, she's a Pilates instructor, so that's both admirable and terrifying. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that my baby girl is all grown up. In my head, I still see her as a toddler with the cutest, curliest Shirley Temple hair you've ever seen. People used to stop her mom and I and ask if we actually curled her hair. Yeah, like a 2-year-old would stay still long enough to get a perm. I can see her then as clearly as I do now, at 3 or 4 years old, with her hand on her hip, her tiny finger in the air, her head cocked to the side, saying, "Don't you mess with me." Growing up means no more school drop-offs or pickups, Indian princess field trips with Beanie Baby bingo, or dance recitals in her itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini. That was her outfit, not mine. Although I did once show up at her school in my skin-tight Lycra bike shorts. If they didn't know we were Jewish then, they did after. Honey, we're only about a quarter of the way done. I got a little bit more to go. Those days may be over, but you'll always be my little girl, my punky doodle doll face, my Jaclyn Melina Falana Solana, the most beautiful girl in the world. Jaclyn inherited my love of cooking and was constantly my sous chef. On Indian princess camping trips, the other kids would be throwing chunks of dirt at each other, and Jaclyn would be with me by the campfire, setting the mise en place for our entrees. We will always have our daddy-daughter date nights for sushi and mani-pedis. Yes, mani-pedis. Laugh if you want, but how many of you wish someone would take a nail file to their significant other's weird gorilla toenails? You got that, huh? One more page, promise, and I'm done. As dads, we get used to the idea that we're the guy providing love, comfort, protection, and advice to our daughters. Well, I can't think of a guy I'd rather share that responsibility with than Tim. I know I haven't, but I feel like I've known him forever. I'd heard a lot about him, and when he finally worked up the courage to ask me for my blessing, he did it right. We met for a drink in Westlake Village. We had some wine and talked, then had some dinner, some more wine, and talked some more. We didn't get mani-pedis because I wanted to leave something for a second date. While we were in that area, I even gave him the nickel tour where Jaclyn partially grew up in LA. Our old house, our next house, the hospital she was born in, the playground she used to play in. He was fascinated, or at least he was genuinely enough to pretend he was. A few months later, Tim was kind enough to help me deliver a new soft serve machine to a client in San Clemente, in the neighborhood where he grew up, and he showed me around all the places from his childhood. And I realized that kind of tour is really only interesting to the person giving it. He gave me a taste of my own medicine, which I totally deserved. In all sincerity, I found Tim to be kind, patient, loving, and a wonderful guy who I have come to love and admire. I'm looking forward now to have you as my son-in-law. Don't get jealous, Ryan. We all love the way he treats Jaclyn, letting her be her, always there to offer a kind word, explain something in a tender and loving way, as well as make her laugh and smile. And that's the best part, the part that melts a father's heart. Tim, let this be my formal welcome to my family. We couldn't be prouder to make you an honorary Kleinman, or at least a McKleinman. I know it's customary for the father of the bride to end a speech with some great advice for the newlyweds, pearls of wisdom born out of long years of experience. I know I have a lot of experiences. You'll all have to be the judge of how good my wisdom is. Since she was a little girl, I've told Jaclyn that she can do anything she wants and accomplish anything she sets out to do. All she has to do is try. I hope you will come to understand the secrets of happy marriage. Tim, you should make all of the big decisions. And Jaclyn, you should make all of the little decisions. Unfortunate for you, one of the little decisions is deciding which decisions are big ones. Be kind, be true, stay friends with one another. Turn your roadblocks into stepping stones. And I can't stress this last piece of wisdom enough. If you take nothing else away from this speech, remember this. Call or text your parents on a regular basis, and for God's sake, include us on Instagram. You may be grown up, you may be a grown-up married lady now, but you're still our little girl. I'm almost done. I've got 3 more sentences. I'd like to ask all of you to raise a glass and join me in a toast to the happy couple. I know I speak for every single person here when I wish you a lifetime of health, happiness, and joy. Oh, and grandchildren. Lots of grandchildren.
Hey! L'chaim.
L'chaim.